back to Teacher Nick Thailand. So today is going to be a special episode. We're going to talk about a little bit about what it means to do like 3D modeling, 3D design. And one of the things that I did back in 2016 was that I had a small project here in Bangkok or here in Thailand. I was working with a friend, and he had a project in Phuket in the south of Thailand. And what he wanted to do was he wanted for me to do the design of like a recreational pool area design. And so part of what I did back then was, like, before coming to Thailand, I was an architect, landscape architect in California. And of course, as a landscape architect in California, your job kind of varies, obviously, in what you're doing, at what level you're doing. Of course, landscape related could be residential, could be big projects as well. So I worked for a company called Lifescapes International, and they're out of Newport Beach, and they've done tons of projects in like Las Vegas, in Macau, in private like estates, beautiful places. So I worked there for 2 years, just 2 years, and I was laid off because of the recession that happened like starting in 2008. But anyways, from that experience, fast forward, when I moved to Thailand, I thought, oh, I could be an architect. I could be a designer here. And little did I know about the rules in Thailand, about the laws in Thailand, about being an expat and getting a job here with a company. But anyways, so what I tried to do is to create my own like little design company. And as you can see here in the screen, I call it MIK Design Studios. MIK, my last name, the first three initials. So I was trying to demonstrate or show how to use SketchUp in a more meaningful way. So here in Thailand, 3D modeling is quite popular. The architecture work is quite popular to do using 3D modeling, AutoCAD as well. One thing about AutoCAD is that it's an amazing program. It's definitely the flagship. It's the way to do it for most design. But I think the challenge is that as an individual that's not working in a company, a lot of times that, when you work for a company, the company will set up the standards, set up the print standards, set up everything like in the most excellent way. It depends on who you work for. But when you're working by yourself, you kind of have to set it up all yourself. And AutoCAD requires a lot of commitment on your computer. And it's just, unless you're really an expert in AutoCAD, it's quite hard to set up on your own. So with that being in mind, and wanting to do 3D modeling, I think there's like a lot of opportunity still, even a few years later. There's tons of opportunity in SketchUp and other 3D modeling programs too. But for me, I found that like SketchUp was probably the most reasonable for me to, like, as an independent designer or whatever, wanting to use SketchUp more in detail. So what I did was I created, so I actually did a lot of research and tried to find the right company to, like, maybe someone else has set up the standards for using SketchUp like on a more individual basis, or with any design that you're doing, you're gonna have usually you would have like a schematic design development, construction documents, like to build it, and then how do you lay that out? I mean, in AutoCAD there's presets that are set up for you to print it and all that stuff. So in SketchUp, I just think of like blocks. You extrude and you make bigger and smaller, but there's so many opportunities in SketchUp. So what I did is I decided to take the deep dive, and this was back in 2016. So I'm showing you the website that I created at the time. It's no longer active. It's no longer doing it. But what you see is what I produced. So in that design that I did in Phuket, we did 3D rendering. We did construction documents. We did a planting plan also. So maybe the project will get designed. Maybe the project will be built. I'm not sure. We even spec'd out materials and all that. So hopefully, maybe one day in the future, I can update you with what was built. So, but for now, it's as I've learned in a lot of design projects, you can't really wait for the project to get designed. As a designer, you got to move on to the next thing. So Anyways, that's what I was doing kind of like when I started to become a teacher in Thailand. And then now every once in a while I might get a little project here and there. But just want to show you around what are some things that I produce using SketchUp. So you can do a lot of things. So let's start with the company that offers this. So it's a little plug to them. Honestly, I think they do great work. I think it's they're definitely the ones that stand out. They're called Brightman Design. They're out of Colorado. Um, yeah, they're out of Denver, Colorado here. So if you want to check them out, it's pretty cool. They do good work, and I know they're able to help you with if you have problems along the way or whatever. So they're able to help you with what they're doing or what you purchased into their program. Anyways, that's Brightman Design Group. So what did I create? So let's take a quick look here. I'll show you. So of course, if you're familiar with design, here's the project, and it's in the south in Phuket. Not too complicated. I feel like I can show this just because, um, maybe it'll get built at some point. I'm not sure, but anyway, so I was able to create in Google in SketchUp Layout these page layouts, and so going back and looking at my other designs I've done, the other companies I worked for, what is the style, what is the format and of these construction documents. So just schematic design, design development, architectural drawings, it changed over time, kind of the progress of that. And yeah, so title sheet, and we got into the next page, master construction schedule. And if you zoom in and take a look, this is a lot of work. It took a lot of work for me to do this for sure. And you can see the symbols and what type of description, where it was coming from. I actually went to the shop and tried to find the right materials. Yeah, so it was a lot of work on that construction document related, right? Continuing finishing schedules. So the design, if you're looking down, obviously, in plan drawing. So I have the different project here for reference only. So to kind of give you reference before I show you the actual model itself, there's an existing building here. It's like a guardhouse, and we wanted to like double that and then add a bathroom on the back. And the bathroom would kind of serve the pool area. So it's a kind of like oversized bathroom for changing area. And then there was kind of a patio here with a shower as well, a shower design here. And then you would walk up the steps into this very, very basic structure, sala, so like concrete on the bottom, the pillars, and then the roof on the top. In Thailand, it's very hot here, and so people often want shade. And so that would actually lead into flush level with a terrace. So like it could be wood, or it could be concrete as well, but enough for some seating that's connected to the pool. So the swimming pool is long enough to do some laps and things. And so anyways, that was the design, and surrounding it in this area was all landscape, on the back end landscape, and just a real thin landscape area. So not too complicated. On the front side was kind of like a very tropical looking design as well. So just to kind of give you a general idea, here's what you can do with SketchUp Layout. And I was using the Brightman Design project. It's called Condoc Tools, and there's definitely a learning curve. It definitely takes time to learn it, and but definitely like very interesting to do. Like I know I'm like maybe OCD about some of the organization, but here's some dimensions for the project. And actually with both of these structures, even with this structure, is that you can set up the SketchUp in such a way, because you're building 3D model, right? And if you build it correctly, if you build it like you're actually going to build it, like build the model as you would build it in real life, you can actually cut layers, and be able to do your plan drawing using the real model. So this This is a model, this is a model, and then the building is a model. So this is of the foundation level. So as you can see, even on this level, this is the roof structure. So that's the real roof structure, but you change the layers so that you can show what's going on. Even with this is the real roof of the 3D model itself. So that's kind of cool. And then each of the buildings, of course, each different level. So we have the roof floor plan, the roof structure, finished floor plan, foundation floor plan. So that's real 3D modeling actually, and you cut it in such a way that you can show these different levels. And if you do it right, if you're good with it, not just building like face value to make it look good, but actually build it correctly, you can do so much with it. And I'm sure there's even another level that you can take it to that I didn't get into. But anyways, yeah. So here's some of the elevations of the building. So of course, this is again a 3D model. So each of the four sides, and have the finishing callouts on that. So the roof structure. As you know, I'm a landscape architect from the U.S. I don't have a license, but I have some experience. But I don't have experience building buildings and in structure in that sense. So I did call on a friend. She's Thai architect, and she helped out with the design of this very traditional Thai style. So she knows the call out. She knows how big the dimensions need to be. So she helped me out with this, the 3D model as well. And I told her it's a very unique project I'm doing. I'm doing SketchUp and I'm doing it in 3D. Can you help me? And she helped me out a lot. So it's very, very cool. Again, some elevations of the sala to kind of show you. And you have to call out each of the doors, the windows, all those sorts of things. This is all new to me. I'm not an architect, so I like this. This is cool. I think this surely shows you what's capable of using SketchUp to do construction documents. And it's not easy again, but to show you like, okay, here's a pilaster, here's of the roof structure going down, here's what I want the pool area to look like in connection to like bench seating here for if someone's swimming and they can sit here on the bench as well as under the sala as well. And here's the materials, like big enough that someone could sit there a little bit, but not exactly. It's not, different way to do it. So, and then that's kind of the call outs for that. So I think it's hidden here as it shows you a little more in detail about that. So overall, very cool way to do it. Again, I first did SketchUp, and then I did SketchUp Layout to create these pages, and then over time just keep kind of working with that. So that was what I submitted for the construction documents. So I want to show you a little bit so of course you can do planting plans too. So again, this is in SketchUp, just the regular program, but these are 2D images, like 2D figures. So each of these has a symbol, and so plants and different things. This is the front. This was the old guardhouse. This is the kind of the storage room that they added, and in the bathrooms here, we put a shower on the front end here, kind of a little bit private, but good space, and the sala walkway and things. And then this would be a landscape in here. So just to show you what you can do with the 2D as well. And to kind of finally show you, so I had to do a planting schedule for these plants. And so again, I've done landscape architecture in the past. It's been a while. And so I know a lot of the plants. I forget a lot of the plant names. In Thailand, I'm sure they call them different names here too, but can't go wrong with the Latin names. So for this, I just showed them. This went along with the construction documents. The planting schedule, just showing the type of plant, what we're looking for. The plumera, very, very common here, grows well here. Lipstick palm, quite an expensive plant, but beautiful. Like if you put it in the right spot, very beautiful place. We had some Christmas palms as well, lady palms. Of course, all these symbols go back to the other project I just showed you. Some traveler palm. And I had to make all these custom too. I had to make all these symbols custom. Hibiscus trees, banana plant, right? There's like lots of types of bananas, and most people think of the yellow big banana, but there's so many different varieties, and it's cool. There's like blue colored bananas, and there's like pink ones, and um, so you could like really add a cool landscape. So here's a few more. That taro as well, lobster claw. That's pretty popular here. I don't see it grow so thick like that. Like maybe in the right conditions. Bird of paradise, very common in California. You don't really see it much here. It's not used too much here as well. But some just big leafy palm, different plants. Ginger plant has a really nice smell if you get the right variety as well. And then shrubs. Again, I tried to pick some shrubs that have a nice smell near the pool, but you got to be careful. These attract bees and things like that. So, giant bird of paradise, some different plants. So, and then ground covers, just a variety of things to make it feel more tropical. So, this was the example I did. So, we did schematic design, design development, and construction documents. I had one other project I was working on with this with this developer, and it was part of a really big project in Cambodia. And I worked on it a little bit, stopped. I had to wait for drawings from the architect. It's a very famous, world-renowned architect, and I get very little information from him. And I know they're busy with things, and so who am I? I'm the little guy. My job was for that commission for that one was the developer wants to see things in 3D. Like he likes to see the 3D, and he wanted someone to do it for him like fairly quickly, and not at the detail that I did for this one. But I worked on it with him for a little bit, and it was quite a delay with the project, and then the real architect was different things were happening, and so it ended up being like just kind of like nothing happened with it. And I later found out that they canceled the project and they rebranded it as a different hotel. They reduced the budget, and so didn't really need it. So, but as a foreigner, as an expat in Thailand, you're always looking for something to do. At least want to show you in this video about what can be done if you are into SketchUp, if you have an architecture interest or background or a hobby or something like that. And so the last thing I want to show you real quick is that SketchUp, they've kind of migrated now to really being online based. It used to be you'd have to download the program and then be connected to the internet to get like the 3D warehouse and things like that. So they're still great resources. So if I do a real quick search for SketchUp 3D warehouse, right? And you can go online here, and I think it's really useful thing here. So you can go online and search for what you want, and so people have done lots of work here. Some of them that you have to pay to get it. Some of the companies, like here's that Condoc. So that's actually what I used when I used it 3 years ago. If you're looking how to build something, you can kind of take other people's things if it's for free. Of course, you can take everything at face value, but you can take it as an example. If you're looking for how to do furniture, interior design, like maybe I'd grab that and then bring it in. Different companies have different layouts and stuff too. So for example, in Thailand, a house is Baan, B-A-A-N. So I'm looking for a Thailand house, and you get a whole bunch, right? So sometimes it's helpful to look at the name of who made it, and there's some very common like Thai names that you can find. And so wooden house, Win is a good one. So Ban To Tu, I don't know what that means, but okay, let's click on that, and it shows you the information. So very typical house. So what I like about this is that it shows a very standard house. He's already built basically the pergola, like the covering for like the cars, the carport. So that's helpful. I can like take that and kind of adjust that. That's helpful. He has dimensions, it looks like, for a wall. And so in Thailand, all the houses have walls like around the community. And so I can take pieces of that. He has a tree in there. I can use that. It's for free, right? And he has a basic roof structure. So all you would do is you would click download, and of course you got to pick what SketchUp. I'm going to use the one that's online, so I can click the most recent one. It's going to download right now, and then the other thing you do is that you would go into SketchUp, app.sketchup.com, and you can open that file that you just downloaded. So let me see if I can figure out how to do that. Or let's do it this way. Show in Finder, and untitled one. Let's see. I'm doing this on the fly, so let's see how I did this yesterday. I just did it yesterday. So sorry for the delay. Open. Oh, let's do insert. There we go. Insert from my computer, and it was the new one today. I already downloaded it once, and let's insert it as a component. Bring it in, and when you're inserting it, you always want to insert it. If you have control over it, it'll give you the 4 hairs, and just go right to that main spot. Right, so that's the main spot. This is a kind of a standard default that's in there as well. So you can use your mouse on your computer, zoom out, some basic features here. So like I said, a few years ago when I used this program, I learned how to use some of these basic features pretty well. So one thing cool is that what you can do. So before you save it, you could save it now, whatever. You click on it to grab the whole thing. Right now it's set up as a component, very unique. So if you went into layers, it's actually its own component. So what I want to do with it is control on the Mac computer and explode. You're basically breaking it up into all these. Maybe the guy that did it, he originally. Oh, here's that low battery again. The guy that did it originally set these all up like roof component or group. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. So for example, if I want to work with the wall, so I'm going to select that, copy it, and then separately paste it. Okay, great. So I have the wall. And then you can do the same thing here. You can click it, hit Control, and explode it. If you want to explode it, it's okay to do it that way if you're going to really break it apart. If you're going to like just adjust what's there, it's better to just edit the group. So you're editing it within that layer, within that group. So anyways, you can do that with it too. So lots of things you can do with it. It's pretty cool. So what I'm going to show you real quick before I run out of battery today is I'm going to open what I was working on last night. So I just called it Nick 1. There it is. Let's open it. Save changes, no. And of course, this is all online, so you don't have to use your computer high memory. Okay, we have a project right now that we're considering. Nothing for sure yet, but we're considering it. And here's the lot. It's 4 rye, and we're looking at developing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do a road, and then 4 more. That'll be like phase 1. And then if it goes well, if the funding goes well, we'll do phase 2, which is the other 2 sides. So all I did to start is I just kind of, like I said, I broke that up, and then I started to work with the wall. All the properties, you buy a property, you got to put a wall on it. It's kind of the way it goes here. And then now I have like the space to work with. So that's the lot size, and you start to work with it in 3D. So the next step for me will be to figure out my setbacks for the building, and kind of the basic layout of the buildings, of the structures. So of course each person might want their house a little bit different. We're not going to use this as the house, but we have some plans that we saw that we like, some custom things that we want to do, and kind of go from there. So anyways, I just want to give you a little quick update about what life is like as a teacher in Thailand. But today, teaching you about how to use SketchUp, how to use, if you're interested in the Condoc tools, Brightman Group, really good resource. I don't need it right now, but I'm kind of like getting back into doing the 3D modeling. So, but anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed this process and showing you how it's all done.